Good morning, Math 10s. So today's day one of what's going to become our new normal for the next 3 months, which is basically distance learning or learning at home. It's going to take a lot of getting used to, but I'm confident that we'll be able to get through this course and that you'll be able to get on to your next course. So this video is just going to be me giving you a whole bunch of information that we've received as teachers and trying to explain it the best that I can. There's still information that we don't know that when I get it, I will share it with you. So the first thing is last night, your parents and maybe yourselves received an email from Mrs. Kelp, the principal, and it's just sort of explaining what Alberta Education has decided to roll out for high school students. So essentially, what they have mandated is that teachers should be teaching 3 hours, or students should be spending 3 hours per subject. So in Math 10C, each week you should be spending 3 hours. So what that means for me is I will be giving you 3 lessons essentially a week. I'll probably be giving you a video for each lesson, 30 to 40-minute video, and then homework assigned with that lesson. But I'll give you no more than 3 lessons a week so that I stay within that cap. What that essentially means, because if we were in school, I'd be doing 5 lessons a week. So what I had to do was I had to look at the outcomes in Math 10C and 20-1 and 30-1, and I had to look at what is sort of the most important things that I needed to teach you in 10C so that you'd be able to get to 20-1 or 20-2, 30-1, and 30-2. So some things I will cut, but you will have all of the knowledge and information that you need to be successful next year when you go on to the next level. Probably the most important thing I need you to get from this video is this new block schedule that they're rolling out. And so it was explained in the email, but I'll explain it to you and I'll show you. I wrote it down on a little whiteboard. What this block schedule looks like, so just let me show it to you. So essentially what they're saying is they're saying that they want you to devote your Monday to your block 1 class. So whatever you have on Monday, whatever you have block 1, that's the work that they want you to do on Monday. And then whatever you have on block 2, they want you to do on Tuesday. What you have on block 3, do on Wednesday. Block 4 is for Thursday, and then Friday is sort of a catch-all day. It's for you to finish all your work for the week. I'm not sure what I think about this for math, because I would prefer math if I'm doing 3 lessons for you to do it in 3 days, or for you to do like 1 lesson in the morning and then 1 lesson in the afternoon and then a lesson the next day. How I'm going to use this block system for now is that they're sort of saying, okay, your block, so I have 10 CAP block 1. Those 38 kids in that class, they could email me and I will be available to those students on Mondays. Okay. On block 2, I teach 30-1. So the 30-1s, they can contact me on Tuesday. My block 3 10C class, your day is Wednesday. And then I've got a 20-1 class, their day is Thursday. So the first question that I know students are going to ask is, can I only, like my 10 CAPs will say, well, Mrs. King, like, is Monday really the only day that I could get a hold of you? And my block 3 class will be wondering, well, is Wednesday the only day they could get a hold of me? And the answer is no. If you send me an email a different day, I will try to get to it, but the priority will be to the class that I'm teaching that day. So I have 140 students. As you know, my classes are really large, and I can't have 140 students reaching out to me every day. So that's why they've done this block schedule, just to sort of help teachers as well. So like I said, if you need to reach me on a different day, send me an email. And if I'm available to get to that email by the end of the day, I will. And then if not, I'll just try to get it to the next day. And if it becomes too overwhelming, I'll post another video and say, okay, let's modify this. What it's going to look like tomorrow, I'm not going to roll out all 3 lessons to you tomorrow for the week. What I will do is I'm going to roll out the first lesson tomorrow. So both my Math 10C classes can do that lesson tomorrow. On Tuesday, I'll roll out the second lesson and the third lesson. So your week's worth of math you'll have by the end of Tuesday. And then my block 3 class, you could be done it by end of Tuesday, or you could wait and you could say, no, you know what, I want to do my math on Wednesday. But that's the work that you need to do for the week, those 3 lessons. Okay. Assessments. So assessment is getting your quizzes and your exams, and right now they haven't figured out how they want to do assessments. So what I will do in the meantime is I will post you my quizzes and give you solutions, and they'll be formative. So it'll be just for your practice. And I also post at the end of every unit a practice exam with worked out solutions. But again, it's just formative. What your end goal needs to be, so when you're going through this work, your end goal that you have to tell yourself is that you're going to be writing a final in June, right? So I don't even know if that's going to happen, but just plan that everything I'm teaching you has a purpose and a point, and just say, can I write about this question in June, right? Because somehow we're going to need to assess you. And so I'm hoping that by June, they're going to say, okay, you know, it's safe enough that we could give an exam. So just have that. 2 goals I want you to have in mind. I want you to have the goal of writing a final in June. And then I want you to have the bigger goal of you are going next year into 20-1 or 20-2. Right? And I will give you all of the information that you need to be successful in those courses. So a lot of this has to be intrinsic, and you have to want to do this for yourself, right? You have to be self-motivated to do this. And I will do everything I can to ensure that you're successful, but you're the biggest piece of this puzzle, right? I will deliver the content to you, and it's up to you to actually sit there and try to get through it. I'm just going to be referring to the notes that I wrote. We're going to the end of June. So I don't remember if that's the 26th or the 28th, but there's no 2-week exam break. So they said redo your calendar so that you're teaching essentially until the last day of June, or we'll have exams the last few days of June. So prepare that we will be going until the end of June. Like I said, I will only teach what you need to know. How you're going to be checking in with me is, if you're in my block, everybody's going to be checking in once a week, okay? And it depends on what day you're scheduled. So my 10C AP class, I'm going to put a Google form out tomorrow, and it will say like for 10C AP, and you will need to check in tomorrow by 3:30, okay? And if you don't check in tomorrow, then that's where like I'll consider that you've sort of missed the week. And because Mondays is going to be your day to check in on this Google form. And like I said, I'll post it at the end of the day or by lunch, and then you have until 3 o'clock to check in with me. And students that don't check in, I have to reach out to your parents just to sort of be like, are they on the Google Classroom? Are they getting the messages? Things like that. If you are in my block 3 class, your check-in day will be on Wednesday. So I use the same Google Classroom for both classes, for both my block 1 class and my block 3 class. So I'll just make sure, like, you guys will know, right? If it's on Monday, my block 1's check-in. If it's on Wednesday, my block 3's check-in. Okay, the other thing is we are going to make sure that we're podcasting, or this should be the last piece of information. We're going to podcast the curriculum to you. And I don't know if this is good news or bad news, but I will pretty much be doing all the podcasts for the 10Cs. If I get overwhelmed with some of the other podcasts that I'm doing for the other levels, another teacher might step in. So you might not always be hearing my voice. But for the plan now is pretty much for me to do all of the podcasts for the Math 10Cs, which is good for you guys because you're used to me, you're used to the sound of my voice, you're used to sort of how I write on the Smart Notebook, things like that. Yeah, so like I said, will hopefully be continuing the podcast for the next 3 months, okay? Any questions, you guys can email me, reach out to me. Try to stick to your Monday or your Wednesday, but again, right now, until we sort of see how this works. I'm not going to be too strict about that. And I'm happy to answer your questions. We will get through this together. You will be successful, and I am here to support you. I miss you all, and I wish you have no idea how much I wish I was going to school tomorrow to teach you instead of going to school tomorrow to an empty class that I'm going to be podcasting from. Okay. So I hope everybody has a great day. Try to get through that first lesson. Tuesday, you'll get your second lesson. Wednesday, you'll get your third and last lesson. Okay. Take care, you guys. Bye.